Welcome to the very first episode of our new podcast, Along Grand Avenue. I am Heidi Rushing, Vice President for Marketing and Communications at Austin College and proud class of 2004 alumna. One of the best parts about my job is getting to tell the stories of all the cool things that are happening at Austin College to all of you. We do so through our email newsletters, our social media, Austin College Magazine, and so on. We love keeping you updated about all the cool things that are happening on campus. But this year, we wanted to try something new. I'm so excited to welcome you to Along Grand Avenue, the podcast. When I run into fellow alumni, they often ask me what's new at the college, how are things going, what's exciting, and it's a hard question to answer because the answer isn't short. My response might be, how much time do you have? Through this podcast, we're looking forward to sharing some stories with you that are a little bit more in-depth, but also a little bit more casual and conversational than we can do through other media. This is content for people who have an attention span that's longer than a caption or a reel. Our plan is to release 6 episodes of the podcast during the academic year. I hope you will follow along on our journey and let us know what topics you'd like for us to explore in season 2. But first, thank you for tuning in to season 1, episode 1. Here we go. Joining me today for our inaugural episode is Austin College's 17th president, Dr. Rebecca Cantor.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you, Heidi.
New podcast, new president. It felt like it was meant to be. So thank you for joining us today. I'm not sure every new president would be willing to sit down with me and talk in a brand new format, untested. I really appreciate your willingness to try this with us.
It's only slightly terrifying.
Only slightly. Well, I think everyone will be really excited to sit down and listen to this. I think it's going to be a great way for me to get to know you, for all of us to get to know you, and introduce you to everyone in Rue Nation.
Thank you for the invitation.
Okay. First question. I know the answer, but I'm going to ask it for all the folks out there who are going to get to meet you this year. How do you pronounce your name? Cantor? Cantor?
Wow, you're starting with a tough one.
Yeah.
It's Cantor. Rhymes with banter. It's not too fancy, just kind of direct.
Okay,
Cantor.
That's perfect. I think banter is what we're going to do here today.
Perfect.
Because of what I do at Austin College, this is a question I like to ask everyone I meet. Where did you go to college, and what made you decide to go there?
I went to Fairfield University, which is in Connecticut. It was a bit of a leap because I grew up on the West Coast, so all the way across the whole country. Didn't get to come home for Thanksgiving, but I chose it because of the small liberal arts institution feel, and I fell in love with that vibe, and that's something I've been chasing ever since, and a big part of why I'm here at Austin College.
That's great.
Yeah.
From your official bio, which I'm sure everyone has looked at and read, one thing we know about you already is that you're a volleyball player.
I
at
was a
Fairfield.
volleyball player.
Was. Past tense.
I mean, let's see.
You're not going to...
I'm probably not going to jump on the court
okay.
here. Yeah.
I think that stood out to a lot of people here because of how many of our students participate in varsity athletics. I also think it's relevant to who you are as a leader. There's been an article sort of making the rounds on social media lately. It was published by Forbes that talks about how many female CEOs participated in athletics, particularly college athletics. I actually got the quote here so we can be right. It cites an Ernst & Young study and says that 94% of women in the C-suite played sports, with more than half of them competing at the collegiate level. The idea in the article is that the habits that athletes develop, teamwork, practice, coachability, resilience, are really valuable skills for leaders. I want to ask what lessons you learned as a student athlete that you think have translated directly into your role here as president of Austin College.
It's a great question. It absolutely is a huge part of my leadership and what prepared me for this and many other roles. Certainly, I learned grit, determination, the ability to win, the ability to lose, which are all incredibly important. Also, just being part of a team. You know, we're now on a team together, and that skill of being able to trust someone and rely on them, but also be reliable for them is huge. And lately, I've been thinking a lot about some of the other philosophies that have stuck with me. I've been thinking a lot about serving. I remember that we were taught there are 7 times that you shouldn't miss your serve, and I shouldn't have said 7 because now I'll forget one. But it's your first serve of the game, after a timeout, after you missed your last serve, after the other team missed their serve, things like that. Game point, their game point. But the other point is if you make all of your serves, you're not serving hard enough. And I've been thinking about that lately because you have to get your serve in when it's an important time, when the game is on the line. And with leadership, there are things you have to do consistently and be steadfast on. But there are also times when we've got a strong foundation and you can take some risks. So if every decision you're making always works out 100% of the time, you're not taking any chances, which I think is really important. So philosophies like that really stuck with me.
I love that answer. I am so excited to be on a team with you. I'm so glad it's not a volleyball team.
Me too.
Because when you brought it up and said service or serves, I thought you meant like servant leadership for a second. So I'm glad I caught
Also
up with
important.
you.
Yeah.
The 7 serves
Serving.
volleyball term.
Yes.
We're on the same page now.
Exactly.
So we know you played volleyball, but I'm sure like all of us, you're a multifaceted person. Are there other hobbies or interests you pursued in high school or in undergrad that really helped kind of develop you as a person? These could be things that contributed to your leadership philosophy, or maybe just points of connection for the people out there in our community who will go, oh, I also played the flute. I was also on the debate team. Anything else like that that we need to know about you?
No, that's a fun question. Certainly in college, volleyball took up a lot of my time. I remember my roommates, who I still love and still get to see occasionally, saying, they have so much homework, and feeling like, you have so much homework? At least you don't have a full-time job in addition, which for me was volleyball. But we still found time to hang out together. I loved being able to go into the city. We were in Connecticut, so to go see a Broadway show, that was something I totally love. Music is really important to me. I enjoy concerts. I enjoy singing. I enjoy hearing other people play instruments, although that isn't my strong suit. I can play Piano Man on the piano, but not very well. And
So
it's just that song.
You said we're not going to see you play volleyball. Do you think we might get to see you sing in the choir, maybe with the faculty quartet?
Probably not in
No.
let's say not in my first year. Let's see what happens.
No pressure, no pressure.
I enjoy it. I love it, but we'll see what happens. I know that Stephen was really involved in the local band as well, and I love that. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. So you went to Fairfield. You played on a highly competitive volleyball team as a student athlete. But let's talk for a second about the first half of that hyphenate. Okay. You were also an English major.
Yes.
Coincidentally, I double majored in art and English here at Austin College. So as a fellow English major, I have to say that when I considered my future career path, if I even did, I'll be totally honest, I never thought college president.
Me either.
I'm guessing the same is true, yeah?
Yeah, true.
But here we are, president, vice president.
Yes.
Go English majors. I want to know, though, what that journey has been like for you. But first, tell me, why did you choose to major in English? And what did you think you were going to do with your English degree?
Yeah. Oh, stories. I love stories my whole life. I remember my mom saying that the worst punishment for me was going to bed without a story. And my dad was always a storyteller, and we would ask him to tell the same stories again and again. My Uncle Mike had a bookcase that I just remember pouring through and finding Shakespeare and loving it. I used to play library with my sisters. I made a card catalog. I'm just very much always been an English major. But I wanted to be a teacher, an English major. I considered a lot of different writer. Of course, I love all of those aspects, but leadership wasn't exactly something I was working toward. It just kind of happened naturally as we went along. But I think that an English major is a really incredible thing, that you can be a doctor, you can be a college president, you can find many different trajectories.
Yeah, everyone needs to know how to read and write.
Yeah, I
communicate.
Think that's right. Absolutely.
I know you don't want this conversation to just be a walk through your resume, but we kind of are leading this path, so we're going to take it. You graduated from college, you went on to get a master's and Ph.D. in English, and then you went into academia as a professor. It's like playing library for grown-ups, right?
Exactly, yes.
So tell us just a little bit about what that early part of your career was like, and what were your teaching and research interests when you were fresh out of graduate school and in your first teaching job?
Great question. I spent, I've taught about 75 courses. So I've done a lot of teaching of writing and literature and poetry and all those different things. And I love teaching. And I applied for a gazillion professorships. And it was always an ongoing challenge to find the right role for me. I mostly was an adjunct, which was important work and I really enjoyed. I ended up becoming a part-time interim writing center director. And that was really what kind of started my trajectory in leadership. And I loved it. I could not wait to go to work every Monday morning and to think about the space and about the coaching that we were doing of writing and working with a team. It just lit me up inside. And so from there, I went on to become a writing program administrator. And then I kind of got plucked up by the provost's office and I got to be an assistant provost. And that's when I decided I wanted to be provost of a small liberal arts institution and went in that path. And then a lot of provosts become presidents. It just kind of fell into place, but the leadership was what made me feel alive. Teaching for me is so amazing, but it's ultimately draining. I think, I put my whole heart into it, and by the end of the day, I'm exhausted. Whereas leadership, I feel like, oh, another meeting, let's go. Let's talk about strategy. Let's figure this out. So, it takes all kinds, and we have these amazing, incredible, dedicated faculty who are lit up by what they do in the classroom, and I love that. I taught last semester, and it was great, but one class was a lot for me. So I think that I found the perfect place for my trajectory.
That's great.
Yeah.
I wanted to dig in just a little bit about what your research interests were.
Yeah.
I know you were a Mark Twain scholar.
Yes.
Tell me about Mark Twain. What do you love? Why Mark Twain? How did you get to there?
I mean, talk about stories. Mark Twain is hilarious.
A great storyteller.
A great storyteller. At times, he needed an editor. He tends to go on a little long. So that's,
I know a little bit about that.
Yeah, we all do. We all do. Even his humor is hitting at something about life and about reality, and is pointing out something about truth. And I think it's so amazing. Some of his lectures and letters are even, for me, better than some of his novels. So I enjoy every aspect of what he's written, even the longer pieces that tend to ramble on. There's always something that I find from them. And I ended up writing about names and naming in Mark Twain's literature for my dissertation. Names are something I've always been fascinated by. My maiden name was Guess, so I grew up with people saying, "What's your last name?" Guess. I don't know. Smith, Jones. So it made me think about names more and kind of delve into that. So that was a really fascinating trajectory for me, and I'm still obsessed with both Twain and names and naming.
My last name is Rushing, and I am often in a hurry.
Yes.
I feel like it was my destiny to be that way.
Absolutely.
Another thing that we know about you from your official bio is that in addition to your climb through the ranks of college administration, you are a published poet. You have published 2 books of poetry. And I think there's an interesting duality there. Because if we rely on stereotypes, when we think about the skills and talents a person needs to be a poet, and we think about the skills and talents a person needs to be an executive, the list probably doesn't have a huge overlap.
Yeah.
I think that we're probably wrong if we made those lists and they didn't have an overlap. But I'm interested to hear why you think that's true.
Yeah. Thank you. That's a great question. And if Kendall and Nick and Joshua were in the room, I might read some poetry to you, but I don't want to bore anyone.
I love poetry. You wouldn't bore me.
We'll do it another time.
Okay, another time.
I think being a president is a really creative role.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like it at first, but you need to be able to tell stories. You need to be able to vision cast and see a future that not everyone can possibly see, and then help other people come along. So that's a huge piece of it. You also need to be able to work with human beings. And if poetry is about anything, it's about humanity and truth and connection. So I think those 2 worlds really go hand in hand, more than people necessarily see. So I'm excited to be one of. Actually, there are multiple poet presidents. I've met others,
Really?
and so to be part of that tribe. But it's a huge part of who I am, and it doesn't show up every day as a president, but I think the skills do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to some very poetically written messages from you. No,
Okay.
too much pressure?
I think my first speech should be an iambic pentameter.
I think so.
Yeah, and we'll see how it goes.
The Odyssey is very popular right now. I think meter's making a comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do
see.
it.
Okay. Now is the part of the conversation where I'm going to admit something to you that might be a little bit embarrassing for me. When you were named as president, I looked you up. I'm sure we all did. And I read that you were teaching at Spring Hill, or you're provost at Spring Hill, and that it's a Jesuit institution. A Jesuit institution is something that people say with meaning.
Yes.
They mean something by it.
Absolutely.
And I know that I don't understand what they mean by it. Certainly, I've looked it up. I can read you the definition. I kind of understand on a certain level, but I don't think I really understand the meaning when people say that. So let's pretend like I don't know anything about Jesuits. Can you explain what it means, at least what it means to you?
Yeah, thank you. That's a great question. I think a great kind of entree into this idea is through another poet, Gerard Manley Hopkins, certainly one of our great poets, who was a Jesuit priest. And he wrote about God in all things and beauty in all things. One of my favorite poems, which I covered with my students last semester, is called Pied Beauty, and it talks about dappled things. And I love talking with the students about how there are dappled things all over the world, and you can start to notice them and be connected to the world itself. That for me is at the core of Jesuit education and the Jesuit philosophy. The idea that we care for the whole person, that we serve others, that God is in all things, and that we discern and think about the world intentionally and thoughtfully. There's so many connections to Austin College, our mission of service to others, and our care for the whole student. So to me, the leap from a Jesuit institution to Austin College was really natural.
So it's a certain viewpoint on the world, a philosophy that has to do with being Jesuit and Catholic, but also not exactly?
Not exactly. Another huge piece is that Jesuit institutions are open to all kinds of faiths. So that's also the same as Austin College. We have our Presbyterian roots, but we're open to all kinds of faiths. So you certainly don't need to be Catholic to go to one of the Jesuit there are 27 of them in the country, or you don't need to be Presbyterian to come to Austin College.
Right. I think people say I was Jesuit educated.
Yes.
And we don't say I was Presbyterian educated.
Interesting.
So maybe that's why it's hard for me to understand. Like many colleges, especially private liberal arts colleges, have some sort of religious affiliation because that's who started them.
Yeah.
But it just seems like it's a little bit different flavor for the Jesuits.
I think that's right. And I think, it's 500 years old and there are 27 of them in the country, and they work together really closely, which we're working on continuing with the Presbyterian Church as well.
I think at this point, we've more or less covered your professional and educational backgrounds. So if it's okay, I would like to get into your personal life a little bit.
Let's do it.
Okay? I don't want to be nosy. I don't want to be the person who's being nosy, but this is a close-knit community. And just like we say, we want to educate the whole student, we also want to get to know the whole person. We don't just want to know you as a resume. We want to know you as a real individual.
I get it. People are curious.
Yeah. So you're a scholar, you're an athlete, you are an artist, an executive. You are also a mother, a single and young, if I do say so myself, as a person of the same age, female.
I think we're young.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially for a college president, right? I think you're probably on the very low end of the scale if we looked at all ages of college presidents. So we can take this in either order, but I really want to know what it means for your family for you to be here. How do you navigate being a parent of teenagers? And taking on this second huge responsibility of being a college president?
Yeah, I have two amazing teenagers. They are in high school and they are settled in a high school that they love. So we made the really tough decision for them to finish their high school years in Mobile, Alabama. Of course, they're going to be coming out for breaks and holidays. And of course, we connect every single day as we possibly can. We play Minecraft together online, and we like to video chat, and Nora and I like to do the Wordle together. Right. But that has probably been the biggest challenge, is essentially moving away from my two kids.
Yeah.
But again, technology has advanced so much, and I was able to find a home that's a direct flight to Mobile, so I can get back there when I need to, and they can come see us. So really grateful for this opportunity and the ability to still be connected to them, even though it is definitely hard.
I'm assuming this is not a boarding school situation. They live with their other parent.
Yes, yeah, they live with their dad, yeah.
Is there anything else we need to talk about your family?
Well, gosh, I mean, I have a really strong support network. I've got two sisters who are amazing. Also, successful in their own rights. One's a playwright. She has an amazing movie on Peacock that you should check out.
What's
If You
it
Were the
called?
Last. Yeah.
If You Were the Last.
If You Were the Last, with Anthony Mackie. Yeah, and Zoe Chow. Really
Wow.
fun. Yeah. And then Cassie is a former aerospace engineer who now is a touring. She speaks about being a woman in STEM, and she has some books on it as well. Yeah.
That is like the perfect segue to my next question.
Great.
You are not the first female president of Austin College,
Nope.
but you are only the second in 177 years.
That's true.
So in many ways, in addition to being female, you are a trailblazer in this role. You are a woman, you are young, you are single. So you are not kind of following the stereotype of what we think a college president looks like. Over the years, we've had many wonderful first ladies and first gentlemen who have contributed greatly to this community. But that's not like part of the job description, is that you have to have a spouse who's going to work for us for free.
Apparently.
Right?
Yeah.
So tell me what that's like for you to be here kind of on your own.
Yeah.
And if you want to share more about your family and your support system, I'd love to hear about them.
Thanks, Heidi. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit untraditional, and it's certainly challenging to move to a new city all by myself. Luckily, I have two adorable dogs who are there to greet me when I get home, and I'm good at meeting people and getting to know people. And so while it's, I've done it before. I moved to a new place knowing no humans. I already know so many people here, and that's been really incredible. And I really am excited to get involved in Sherman and Dedison and meet people in the art scene and in Dallas to explore that community and get to know people throughout. So I think there's just so much opportunity to get engaged.
Yeah.
And being on my own also gives me some freedom to be available whenever I need to be. And
We
be
are going to
totally
use
dedicated.
all of your available hours.
I know it,
I know
and
there
I
are
love
so many
that.
people in Rue Nation who are excited to meet you, and you won't feel alone, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
But
So I guess the one thing I would say to the folks is, when I walk into a party by myself, you got to come and say hello to me.
okay, that's a deal. And I can't wait to meet your dogs.
Thank you so much, Eva and Cal. They are super
and
sweet.
Cal.
They were barking at Nick just yesterday.
And
when we did
they're
a
in the
little photo
president's
shoot.
home with you, so when we come over for receptions, it's going to have a different vibe, right?
Possibly. There may
Oh, they
be
might not be
some.
ready for parties.
Yeah, I'm not sure Eva would put up with a bunch of people in her space, but Cal would love it. He would be getting all the pets he possibly can. So we'll see what happens.
I had one dog, a Great Dane, who loved parties. She loved going around and talking to people and hoping for pets and
Yes.
maybe a dropped sausage. And I have another one who's like,
Yeah, super uncomfortable.
So I
yeah,
get that.
Eva's very protective of me. So somebody was over there fixing something at the house the other day, and he said, when I was home, Eva barked the whole time, and as soon as I left, she was totally fine. Didn't care.
dogs are so funny. And you've told us about your sisters. Two sisters. You're the oldest?
Two sisters. I'm the oldest. Yes, they are 100% my support system. So grateful for them. I've got 3 nephews and a couple of brothers-in-law that are wonderful, as well as, of course, friends and family. I think I mentioned my college roommates, but yeah, really grateful.
So can we expect to see any of these people around?
Yes.
Are they going to be participating and joining Rue Nation alongside you?
Well, they'll be here at least for the inauguration, and I'm sure for other things. I'm trying to convince my nephew to come here for undergrad. We'll see what happens.
Nephew?
But
It's a great place to go to college.
Yeah.
Come on. No one will treat you differently because your aunt is the president, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably not. We won't tell anyone. Different last name.
Okay, so Texas is the furthest you've lived from an ocean.
Yes.
But you've spent some time in, let's say, the South. I think Texas is its own region.
I totally agree.
But
Totally agree.
you've been in Savannah, you've been in Mobile.
Yes.
So this like 108-degree weather we're having isn't phasing you.
I mean, it's not my favorite weather, but it's not as humid as Mobile. So everybody's apologizing for the humidity. I'm like, I'm fine. This is great. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So other than being less humid, how have you found Sherman?
The people are incredible. Everybody's been so welcoming and kind. And you can find good food in Sherman for sure. You took me to that El Salvadoran restaurant, which I loved so much. And there are so many options. It's really been incredible to get to see this place. And I can't wait to see our lake campus and the Sneed Prairie.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've got a real treat ahead.
I know. I'm excited.
I love living in Sherman. It's funny, as a college student, I thought Sherman was the worst.
Uh-huh.
It's grown a lot since then, but
Yes.
also I think that's just like a college student perspective of like, I don't know what I wanted in a town, but it's so close to Dallas.
Oh,
you can go to
exactly.
Dallas and find anything in the whole world. It's one of the biggest cities in the country.
And we have
so
a
we really have this
symphony.
incredible access.
Yeah.
And Sherman has all sorts of cool stuff.
Exactly.
And it's like such an easy place to live. You don't spend a lot of time in traffic.
Yes.
It's easy to get around. Like you said, good food.
Good food. Everything. I'm finding out all
Really
these
nice community. You can really get to know people and be known here
Totally
in a
agree.
way that you maybe can't in a larger city.
Yes. And I love living right across the street.
Yeah.
Oh, so great.
Your commute is what, 1 minute on
It's
foot?
1 minute.
Yeah.
I'll be on the phone with someone and I'll say, I'm heading home. And then I'll be like, I'm home. And they're like, what just happened? Yeah, it's funny.
Well, that's convenient.
Yeah, it really is.
Are you ready for the lightning round?
Oh, that's exciting.
The lightning round.
Oh
I
my
know. It sounds
goodness.
very exciting.
Also terrifying. Here we go.
So I'm going to ask you a series of quick questions.
Okay.
Like, what is your favorite blank?
Okay.
And I want you to just respond
Okay.
off the cuff. Don't overthink it. Just whatever comes to your mind, okay?
Here we go.
Favorite poem or poet?
Oh, One Art by Elizabeth Bishop, who is also my favorite poet.
Okay.
There you go.
Is there a leader or a thinker who really inspires you?
Many. You're one of them. I'm going to say Mark Stanton, who was the provost I first worked with. He's a systems thinker, psychologist, and unflappable. I have a lot to learn from him.
That's great. What are you reading right now?
Well, I'm guilty of reading many things at once. I'm one of these people who has a different book on each
There's no guilt
chair.
there. That's a flex. If you can read lots of different things at once and
Yeah.
keep them all in your head.
Yeah, I'll usually have like a novel and something nonfiction. But I'm going to say I'm reading The Advantage by Patrick Lencioni in anticipation of our senior leadership team meeting.
Oh, a
Yeah,
book.
We'll talk more about it. Yeah.
I'm also a book nerd, so I
Okay.
cannot wait to get some homework assignments.
Perfect.
Okay. What was the most impactful course you took in college?
Ooh, so many. Existentialism, probably. Yeah, it's one of the ones I think about.
Yeah, philosophy.
Middle of the night. No. It's a really good one. Yeah. But there are more. Rainforest. I mean, I'm literature, of course. I
Rainforest?
took
Like
a whole course.
rainforest ecology?
Yes, it was
or
incredible. Yeah, I don't think it was too in depth, but I learned quite a bit. Yeah, physics courses. I almost minored in physics, believe it or not. Yeah.
I can believe it.
Yeah. So that's liberal arts.
That is. Yep. Travel destination at the top of your bucket list.
I think it has to be Australia. I still haven't been, and there are so many Australia vibes
Are
here.
you just saying that because we're the kangaroos?
Well, truly, do want to see it, and yes, also because we're kangaroos. And people keep asking me, "Have you been?" And no, I have not. So it's on the list.
Changing tone a little
Okay,
bit.
okay.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Okay.
Assuming you like ice cream.
I like ice cream. I like any ice cream that has a lot of stuff in it, like
Okay.
Moose Tracks, cookies and cream. As long as it has chunks of stuff, then I'll be really happy.
Sweet, salty. You don't want like the plain vanilla soft serve.
No, I want it to be like a meal in my ice cream.
Okay. Crimson or gold?
Crimson with gold accents.
Crimson with gold accents.
I'm mostly thinking about how I dress.
What if it's wine?
Oh, interesting. Well, hot versus cold. So is it a hot day? White. If it's a cold day, red.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Perfect. You've got two choices. What about rosé? You just mix them together like your
Hey.
crimson with gold accents?
Exactly.
I'm kidding.
It's perfect.
Kidding. I have a feeling we might be running short on time.
Probably.
Are we? How are we doing? We're doing good. Okay, so you can spend as much time as you want answering this
great.
question. I really just kind of want to wrap things up by asking if there was anything that you were hoping we would talk about that I haven't touched on yet.
I mean, hoping, probably not. Terrified of, probably.
Expecting to talk about, what do the people out there in Rue Nation need to know about you that we haven't talked about so far?
I mean, I would just say that I feel totally at home here, and I'm so grateful to have found this place.
That's lovely.
All the different things we talked about, they just remind me how it's all prepared me for this moment and made this feel like the perfect fit for me. So I just feel incredibly grateful to all the people I've met here, but just to be a part of this incredible legacy.
And you haven't even met the students yet.
I know.
They're going to come back in a few weeks, and it's going to be even better.
I was just talking with a colleague of mine, and he said exactly that. He said, I have a spoiler alert for you. It gets even better when the students come back. And I was like, I can't wait. So,
yeah. What is your parting wisdom or message for Rue Nation?
I would say my parting wisdom is that we are so fortunate. And I think that's really important to remember. We've got this incredible foundation and this opportunity to innovate. And I think our best years are ahead.
That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Last call for comments or questions before I read the outro.
Thank you. I just have to say thank you so much. Heidi, Kendall, Nick, Joshua, so grateful for this time and this conversation.
Right back at you. I mean, really, I can't imagine being in your seat, being new to this place and having these crazy people say, hey, would you sit down and let us ask you a bunch of personal questions on camera? Yeah. And you just rolled with it. And I really appreciate that. Just the right amount of
crazy. It's perfect.
I'm going to put that on my business card, I think, just the right amount of crazy. We do love to try new things, like you said, innovate. Exactly. Why not? Yeah. So thank you. And thank you again for listening or watching Along Grand Avenue, the Austin College podcast. I hope you enjoyed my conversation today with Dr. Rebecca Cantor, the 17th president of Austin College. If you did, let us know. You can drop a comment. You can send an email to communications@austincollege.edu. And if you didn't enjoy it, I guess you can let us know that too. I think we all know the next part of the script, right? Please like, subscribe, comment, share. I know it's hard to get a new product like this off the ground, and your engagement will make a huge difference. And I hope you will join us again for the next episode. Stay tuned.